Chapter 20. Sleep well, even if you have insomnia. If you have CPPS, then you have some anxiety. And if you have some anxiety, chances are your sleep is on and off miserable. You might even have it as bad as I did. I was an insomniac for over 10 years. Don't be like me. Do something conscious about it. You're not an insomniac, you struggle with insomnia. And like CPPS, it's totally curable. A scale of sleep quality can look something like the categories below. Great. 7 to 10 hours of deep slumber with a complete rapid eye movement cycle, also known as REM cycles. Probable dreaming. Possible one break to get up to urinate, with return to sleep coming easily. Adequate. Falling asleep easily but waking up and not easily returning to sleep. Lousy. Difficulty falling asleep for 1 to 2 hours. Craptacular. Restless sleep, waking frequently and feeling like you never reach deep sleep. Worst. Full-blown insomnia where your mind races for hours, if not all night. You wake up feeling dried out, bleary-eyed, and with a grim outlook on the day. For most people, including men fighting CPPS, every night is different. For me, insomnia worked in waves, going from best to worst, until I was overtired and finally got in one full night of deep sleep. Then the cycle would start over. Your goal is to improve your sleep until you get 1. Quality sleep of any amount. 2. Quality sleep of at least 7 hours, and 3, the ability to fall asleep easily after an ordinary day. The basic ways to improve your sleep. These are fundamentals for everyone, whether you have insomnia or not. Keep a regular schedule. I don't believe you have to go to bed at the exact minute every night, or get up at 5:01 a.m., or even match your sleeping time with REM cycles, but an approximate bedtime is a good thing to keep, especially on work nights. Cut your caffeine consumption. Caffeine has a 12-hour quarter life. That means that even if you downed your last cup of coffee at noon, by midnight you're still feeling the effects of around 20 or 30 milligrams of a highly powerful anti-sleep drug. Even if you think you're immune to caffeine, it's probably more like your body is used to being tired. That doesn't mean it still doesn't block the hormones that send your body into restorative sleep, though. I eventually cut coffee altogether. Well, mostly. I still drink decaf in the morning, and I will add a bit of caffeinated coffee to it if I'm low on sleep and absolutely need to finish a boring project. I try to limit that to 1 day per week. But you'd be surprised how capable you are of cutting caffeine and still performing well. So I recommend cutting it down and having your last bit of caffeine no later than 10 a.m. Get some sunlight during the day. This should be part of your walks or playing with the kids or similar activity. Sunlight reminds your body that it's daytime and the appropriate hormones are released to sustain your daytime activity. Then when the sunlight is cut off, your body starts to release melatonin to slow your brain and body into slumber. Get enough exercise. Some guys don't need much or any, although that doesn't excuse you from the walks. But me, I'm a type A bona fide spaz. I have to do something with my body or I won't be able to sleep at night. My personal minimum is 3 minutes of high-intensity cardio. I do burpees, high knees, and push-ups until I'm winded. I know, weird, but it works. You'll have to figure out what's enough for you. Cut off the blue light 30 minutes before bedtime. Watching TV, checking your phone, or working on your computer are all no-nos before bed, because the blue light mimics the sunlight and its hormonal effects that keep you awake. My recommendation is to get f.lux or flux on your computer and a similar app on your phone just in case you need to use them. These apps remove the blue light from the RGB in your screens. It looks a little weird, but it helps. Then knock all that stuff off 20 to 40 minutes before crashing. Talk to somebody, read a book, brush your teeth, etc. Keep your evenings low-key. If your bedtime TV includes a documentary called How You Are Personally Responsible for All My Problems, Damn You, and it's going to irritate you, well, don't watch that documentary. Same goes for big discussions before bed. If you have to have them, prepare to stay up later to wind down. Sometimes you do have to have them, like if you've got kids and you've got big decisions to make when the kids aren't up. Get what you need in the evening. Do something you like play a video game or read a book. Preferences vary, but the point is if you worked hard, reward yourself. If you don't feel like you got enough done, do a little more. Schedule the rest for the next few days and then reward yourself. Connect with another human. I like to talk with my wife. She listens. A little talk about our troubles and hopes makes us not feel alone in this battle we call life, and that's surprisingly powerful. When she's gone, I try to talk to my kids or friends. Kids should be protected from your troubles for the most part, but your friends should be good enough to listen. Eat enough. If you're overtired and stressed, a little protein and a little carbohydrate can help your body calm down. I've been trying to stop eating sooner, but it's easier when your body is more at ease. Never go to bed angry. If you're married or you live with somebody, or you have a roommate with whom you sometimes argue, don't let them go to bed until the problem is resolved. Sometimes that involves you apologizing for how things went down and explaining how your fears led to a bad response. Be ready to humble yourself. It's worth healing your relationship, and you won't be able to sleep well until you do. Go easy on the booze, or skip it until the weekend. Alcohol metabolizes while you sleep and makes it very hard to enter deep REM cycles. It also increases sleep apnea. Don't jerk off. Doing this right before bed can increase your endorphin levels, making it hard to fall asleep. There are major benefits to quitting entirely, but for now, if you jerk off, give yourself a lead time before bed. I'm having trouble sleeping after I go to bed. What should I do? If you go to bed and your head just keeps spinning, get up. Accept that you'll lose a little sleep tonight. You'll make it. With a positive attitude and some discipline, tomorrow will have just as much potential on lower sleep. Now run through a simple checklist. 1. Do I have some unfinished business, an email I wish I'd sent, an early morning set of complicated tasks like running 3 new errands? Plan out your attack for that project. 2. Is it an emotional problem? Write it out in your journal, but don't just complain. Write out everything you know and the best solution or action steps you can think of. 3. Did you get enough wind down time? If you felt cheated out of wind down time this evening, go take some. I've been known to play video games at midnight for a little bit just to feel a little control over my schedule. 4. Are you hungry? Get a snack. After that, go back to bed and be grateful for how cozy that bed is, how warm you are, and for everything you have. It works wonders. What if I'm an insomniac and none of this works? You are not out of luck. Before I ever beat CPPS, I beat insomnia. I thought that I had finished insomnia off, but I didn't truly beat it until I got CPPS. Then it became a requirement. It was at that time that my wife taught me a secret kung fu technique that lets you finish the fight with insomnia, which incidentally will help you immensely in beating CPPS. It might even be a requirement. We'll get to that soon. How insomnia works. Just like CPPS, insomnia is a cycle. It begins with anxiety, sometimes from more than one cause. One night, it may begin with anxiety over work or another stressful event. By the second night, the focus of the anxiety shifts to, I'm afraid I won't sleep tonight, and I'm afraid that if I don't sleep tonight, tomorrow will be miserable. After lousy night 1, endorphins in the bloodstream build up to keep your body moving. After 2 days of endorphin buildup, it's even harder to fall asleep and you feel wired. Your mind throws thousands of fragmented thoughts into your consciousness, and none of them ever seem to resolve. You wonder if it will ever end. How to break the cycle of insomnia. When you're in that awful cycle, you'll need to be tough and you'll need to start attacking. Here's a plan that works. 1. Mitigate the rest of your anxiety by attacking your other problems head on. Use your planner and/or calendar. Take unfinished projects and tasks out of your subconscious and put them on paper where you can see them. Complete what you can do in a day by being disciplined, and do the morning and evening rituals to crystallize what you have learned and give yourself a clear indicator that the workday is done. 2. Stay disciplined. Start with an affirmation. Being tired is not going to stop me from doing what I need to do today. I'm strong. Or use my variant. God made me strong. Time to kick ass and do good. Attack your tasks even when you're tired. Knock them down, and what you can't finish due to time, schedule them in your planner or calendar app. 3. Get some exercise. This does not need to be heavy exercise. I told you not to until you're into Unit 4, right? But do jumping jacks, push-ups, and other cardio to burn off some of the fumes of a bad night's sleep exhaustion. Make it so your heart and lungs have to work a little. And don't do any exercises that hurt your CPPS symptoms. 4. Give yourself permission to recover. It's harder than it sounds, but just be clear with your spouse, girlfriend, and/or friends that you won't be out late tonight, and don't feel guilty about it. 5. Connect with others. Being the tired and grumpy one can really make you feel more anxiety, so call somebody. Talk and listen. The ultimate secret for when you've done everything else and still can't beat insomnia. Here it is, the legendary Kung Fu secret to falling asleep when you have insomnia and you know you're not going to be able to sleep. Stop caring about whether or not you sleep. Like I said, my wife told me this, and of course I didn't listen at first. I didn't even listen for years. But when I tried it with intention, It was a life changer. Ask yourself, how many days have you made it through on low or non-existent sleep? You're an expert, a battle-hardened veteran. You finish the job on low sleep all the time. And you've made it this far into a long, hard CPPS course. You are not a quitter. If that's too zen, here are action steps. 1. Lay down. Don't concern yourself with the hours of sleep you will or won't get. 2. Say to yourself, I don't give a crap whether I sleep or not. 3. Think about how cozy you are. When you have anxious thoughts, repeat step 2. 4. Imagine yourself doing something awesome, scoring the winning touchdown, bringing down a dragon. Don't focus on the how, just the what and the joy. I realize that it sounds a little silly, but once I got it, I stopped being an insomniac because being unrested didn't scare me. I knew that I could use a little extra coffee and a little extra food to fight through if I needed to. Letting go of sleep expectations takes practice. But on the bright side, it only took a few months for me, and it got easier and easier to fall asleep without having to do any of those special rituals. Your mission. If you're usually a good sleeper, review the first section and see what you can improve. Add these habits to your journal and use what you need. 2. If you ever have trouble with waking up or not getting sleep, read the second section and try those methods. 3. If you're an insomniac or think you are, apply all of the sections. You'll need them. I know, it sucks that it's a lot to implement, but it's worth it. Not only will your quality of life improve dramatically, you can brag about beating insomnia and you can help others beat it too.